Hey everybody, it's Tarina. How are you guys today? I have a fun project for you. We are going to, um, it's my son's 30th birthday, and so I wanted to make him something, and I like to make things for people. And so we're going to be using the Tis the Season football transfer on a round surface. So if you're watching, you're probably on the replay right now. So just put hashtag replay, and then today's word of the day, if you want the project info, is football. Just put football in the comments and I can get that for you. You guys, I'm really excited about this. You could do just standard colors, and I'm using this rustic round, which is already brown. We're actually going to paint it white. I gave my son the option of which team um, he wanted. He works at BYU, and so their colors are navy, royal, and white. And so I have some ribbon, I have some colors. We're actually going to use home, which is kind of like a navy color. We're going to use ivy and espresso. Ivy is actually a brand new color. Home is not. This was a color of the month a couple months ago. I think I might have an extra one if you don't have it and you want it, but use your team colors. They're 49ers fans, so I did give them the option of BYU. 49ers, he chose BYU. Smart move on his point. So let me flip you guys around. Again, football is today's word of the day. And so if you want this project, just put football in the comments and I can get that to you. I hope you guys are having a great day. We're going to start by painting this white. I am using just some white chalk paste. You can use acrylic paint if you want. That is just, I have a spray bottle full of um, distilled water, and I'm going to actually paint the entire thing white. Okay. So this is, you're going to watch some paint dry. I do apologize. But when you do a full project, that's what happens. You've got to watch paint dry. But I do like using our paste as paint. I think it is smoother, and I think that when you put a transfer over it, it does go on better. I personally like it. It's like a chalk paint. We're probably gonna have to do two coats. I like it nice and dark. And then, like I said, we will do the rest of the colors with the transfer. Hope you guys are having a great day. Make sure you comment in the comments football if you want this project info. I was thinking about doing this as a class, like for my local people. If you're in Southern California, what do you guys think? I think this would be fun project to make. I'm actually hitting the sides of this as well. It's not quite fall, but we're getting close. Although feels like 100 billion degrees here still. It's warm in California. How's the weather been where you're at? We've been in the hundreds. We don't stay in the hundreds like Arizona does. We tend to hit the hundreds maybe a week or two, and then we're right back down to manageable 80s to 90s, which is really nice. At least where we live. And you're going to see when I do this, I'm going to actually paint that middle part of the transfer. We're going to use that home. But I think I'm going to and I just know this from experience, when you paint a base, especially on a wood surface like this, it's already dark. When you paint the base like a primer color, like, white, um, you're going to get a richer color. And that's with paint or with paste. It doesn't matter what. So we're using this as a primer for that middle section. Also, when you're painting and you thin it down with some water, use distilled water, filtered water. I go through my paste really quickly, but I still use distilled water because I don't want any elements in my paste. All right. Just kind of got some hot spots here real quick. Then I'm gonna dry it. I do have when I was in Utah, I don't even know. I've had it for a while. But I bought like this ribbon bundle at my favorite ribbon store, and they had like a BYU pack. It's really cute. So there's some BYU ribbon that I'm going to be using for this. Okay. That does take like the longest, and I do apologize. You have to watch paint dry, but that's a part of the project, right? All right, so we're gonna do a second coat because I do want that prime color, that base color, to be solid and not splotchy. I see it like splotchy up here, because it'll make your top coat, the color that we're gonna put over, it'll make it nice and bright. And that's what we want. You also want to make sure that before you put another layer of paste on, you always want to make sure that it is dry underneath. Hope you guys are having a great day. Like I said, it is my son, my number 3 son's 30th birthday, and I am making this for him. You get to a point where it's like, okay, what do you need? And they're like, I don't really need anything. Okay, well, can I make you something? I don't know, Mom. Okay, so I'm making him. I gave him the option. I'm a dessert maker. I like making a lot of desserts, and so the kids can choose which dessert I make for their birthday if they're here. And so he's here, and so I'm gonna make my caramel poke cake. It is super yummy. It's kind of like the family cake when they were growing up, like what I would make them. And so if either that, I make that, or I make banana pudding for them. And so I gave them the choice: caramel cake. We just call it caramel cake, or banana pudding. And he chose caramel cake. So caramel cake it is. It's like me when I was growing up. My grandma, we would go to like my grandma's for like once a month and do birthdays. We would go to dinner on Sunday nights a lot of times when we were growing up to my grandma's house. And if there was a birthday in that month, she would make her angel food cake with strawberries on it. So that was like our family dessert for birthdays. And actually, when one of my sons was on his mission, he was gone for 2 years, and there was a lady at church, and she's like, "Can I get whatever this caramel cake it is that your son? He says it's what you make for birthdays." So, um, I sent her the recipe for my caramel cake. It's very, very easy. It's just a poke cake, box cake. And she made it for him for his birthday. So I thought that was really nice. Okay. All right, I'm going to dry this again. Again, you want this to be nice and dry. You don't want any wet spots on the board. Something too, when you're drying paste or paint, if it feels cold or cool, it's not dry. So like right here, I feel like coolness, little coolness here. So I'm going to keep going. All right, that looks pretty good. I don't know why it's being so glitchy. I do apologize. Kind of like went in and out. I don't know. Sorry about that. All right, so the next thing we're going to do, and this is important too, is we are actually going to use some surface wax on our surface because this helps so that um, the paste will stick to the surface, the transfer will release from the surface. It's just like a protection. Because our transfers are sticky, and if it sticks to, sorry, if it sticks to the surface, I need to stand up. If it sticks to the surface, you'll pull up some paint or paste, or whatever you're using. Don't want that. You want to buff it. It's still kind of like sticky feeling. So we're gonna flip that rag over and buff. Again, if you're here, make sure that you sprinkle this out. Sharing is caring. You know, to be nice and smooth. I also wanted to check around the edges to make sure I just kind of hit the brown area with a little bit of white. Right. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to grab our fuzz cloth. Let's grab the transfer itself. And then we're going to peel this up from the backer sheet. And then lay it sticky side up. Okay. And then we're just going to fuzz it. fuzzing it just destickifies it a little bit the first time you use a transfer. If you're new to using bigger transfers, sometimes it helps if you have a little helper person. I've done this a few times. Right. So now we're going to flip this over. And we're going to center this on my surface. So the idea is that it gives a little bit of a white border around. Do you see that? How it just gives a, like, because we painted the surface white, that's great. Okay, so we're going to start at the top. Now we're not going to do this yet. Okay, so we're going to start at the top. We're going to do our football. We're going to do that one espresso. If you got bark, use bark, whatever color. Okay. I'm just going to spread this on. I like this really dark brown. Just drag it over and cover up all of that screened area. So what would your team colors be if you were doing this? What colors would you use? Any excess goes back in the container. And so we're gonna pull this up. Let me know what colors you would use. Oh, this is so awesome. Look how cool that is. So this particular boy played high school and college football. And now he works for a university. He is an athletic trainer, but he is actually athletic trainer for swim and dive. Sorry, I had to think about it. He was with the football team when he was an intern, and then he is now with swim and dive. Okay, this is our new color, Ivy. I love this. You could use Meadow if you've got Meadow. I'm just using Ivy because it's really cool. Okay. Just like before, any excess goes back in the container. Okay, we're going to pull this up all the way now. Look at that. So cool. That is awesome. Probably one of my favorite transfers this for this release. Okay, so that's super cool. Like we could literally leave it like that. We could have done the "'Tis the Season" in blue, but we're going to be a little extra. And I want this really dry. Let me cover up my other jars of paste real quick. All right. So now I want to paint this area with the home color. Grab a brush. Let me see. I have an idea, but I want to see if it's gonna work or not. That might be too thick. Okay, so I want a crisp line. I don't want it to come up. See, I did pull it up a little bit. Darn it. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're actually going to wax. We're gonna wax on top of here and on top of there, just because I want to protect it. Let me just fix this couple of spots. I mean, it looks rustic. It's not a big deal. I could totally leave it, but I know it's there. Okay, just paint in a little bit, fix the little spots. There's a little spot right here too. Let's fix that. Now I'm gonna just find a bunch of little spots. Isn't that how it always is? Okay, that's gonna look great. Okay, let me dry that real fast. I don't know that I want to wax it because I want to seal it. Ah, let's just paint. Let's just paint. And if I go out of the lines, I can fix it. I think that'll be easier. Let me find. I think I'm going to use the same paintbrush that I just used to cut in. My husband would call it. You know, when you cut in on a project, it's you go around the core edges or whatever. So I think we'll use the wax in a minute, but not right now. Okay, let me turn this sideways. I'll be able to work better that way. All right. So this is going to take a minute. Okay. Again, if you want the information on this project, just put football in the comments. I'm not sure if I want to go all the way to the side or give it that white edge like the rest. Now you don't have to be extra like me. You do not. You could simply use it white and put your color over the top. Other than BYU, we like college football. We are big college football fans. We just like college football in general. Um, it just has a different feel, I think. And maybe that's because our boys played college ball. It used to be you just played because you were going to school, and now some college ball players are actually getting paid, which when my kids went to school, they didn't get that. Not really paid, but you get endorsements. And we'll smooth this line out. Feel like a little bit like Bob Ross. We're going to paint this little happy line. Happy little line. If you're watching on the replay, you can fast forward through the line painting. But again, if you're here, make sure you say hello so I know that you're here and that you watched it. If you're watching on the replay, just put hashtag replay. Okay. Let's see if I can make this line. You know what? I messed it up, so we're just going to go all the way over. We're just going to go all the way through and just be okay with it. Like it was meant to be. There's no mistakes. There's no mistakes. Just finish this line down here. You look like a ribbon. Let's now come up here. Again, if you don't want to do this part, you don't have to. I just really wanted the blue part to pop off. So we are going to sushi for dinner because it's his favorite. And then I have the caramel cake that we're gonna make. So I appreciate you guys being here, hanging out with me. And if you want the info for this project, just put football in the comments. And again, you don't have to use the colors that I used. You can absolutely use your team colors, whether it be football or college or NFL or college. Like I said, he chose his favorite college team. Tell me, so like, are you college or NFL? And who is your team? What colors would you use? Okay, I'm gonna grab a bigger brush. Where's my filling? Cutting in is the hardest, most tedious. I'm definitely gonna do two coats. Because I want this to be nice and dark. We just like sports in this family, honestly. I mean, not that we're not football people, we do love football. Our boys were kickers that played football. Okay, let me set that down. Let me dry this real quick. Got all my phone on silent. Give me a second, real quick. Got a couple of light spots. I'm really trying to be careful to keep my line straight. round. This is because of the painting, this project takes a little longer. But I definitely didn't want any light spots on my piece. So let's just fill this in, and then we'll wax it and put the words on. Okay, looks really cool. I think that looks good. What do you guys think? Okay, let's put the lid on this guy. And let's try it again. Sure. Remember, feel it. Make sure there's no cool spots. Alright, so turn this back around. Oops, just knocking everything over. So I do want to wax this part, the blue part, okay? Since we're putting that transfer back over. I'm going to buff it. Hey, you want it to be nice and smooth. Okay, to the side. Grab the transfer again. So this is where we're going to line it up. There's a part that was a little wet on the transfer, so I'm going to have to fix it. That's not a big deal. This is the part right here that we are most concerned about. Is I've got some green on my hand. Let me get that off. Okay. I want the words to be nice and smooth. Okay. We're just going to do it in white. Hmm. Right across. Make sure you cover up all the screen. I think I'm actually glad that I went across with that blue. Now that I see this, because the letters go further than that white border. Okay, pull that up. Look at that. That's awesome. That looks so cool. Let me wash my hands real quick. What do you guys think? Isn't that neat? I did get a little brown at the top, so let me just wash that off really quick. You guys, that's really cool. Let me just grab the heat tool and dry this. Again, if you want this project info, just put football in the comments and I can get that to you. Let me just make sure I don't have any paste on my hands. And I was going to do a messy bow. I thought like a messy bow like right here. Not that I don't want to have it at the top, but I don't want to cover up the top of the football. So I thought maybe even two, like a messy bow here and a messy bow here. I don't know. Let me put that over there. Throw that away. I want to get any paste on my project or my hands. Because I kind of want it to look like a pom-pom. Again, I know he's a boy, but he also was a cheerleader. He was a competitive cheer person in college, actually. All right, so we're just going to set that to the side. And then I'm going to grab this little like bunch of ribbon. I love this. It's so awesome. And I don't want it too big, but I want it to be substantial, I guess. Like this. I think that would be cute right there. So let's start cutting. And where's my measuring tape? How big is that here? Like 5 inches. So we'll do 5-inch pieces. Let's do 6 and we can cut it down. So we're going to do 2 of each color or style of ribbon. Cutting in 6 inches. 6-inch ribbon curls. It's one of my favorite Christmas movies. And all of these ribbons came from like a little grab bag that I got from one of my favorite ribbon stores in Utah. We're just doing crisscross, and then we'll fix them. It did also have like this big one, but I don't know if that's just too big. Let me see. I wonder if I could just do like a little bit bigger on this one and then have, well, let's just try. Let's just try that. Let's do 9 inches and then we can trim it down if we need to. Just one because it's so wide. I love this ribbon. It's really pretty. Where did I get this one? Probably Hobby Lobby or Michael's. Who knows? I like this color too. It's because the colors for BYU are royal and navy. Thought I would grab that one. It's just a different look. And I normally do 8 to 10 ribbons when I do my messy bows. Okay, so let's do crisscross here. I don't want two of the same colors on top of each other. I mean, I know they're all blue. Okay. I think there's right or wrong on that. And then they had this cute, there's something on that one. Trim that. I kind of want the Y to show, so I'll cut this a little longer. We can trim it. And then came with these guys too, so we'll just maybe add the thinner ribbon. After all, it is a messy bow. So we could use thinner ribbons. And when we do messy bows and we want them to pop up, we do go a little shorter once we're done. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This will make 8. I thought this would be fun. Center. All right. They did have a tan, but I don't think I'm gonna do tan for this one. Let me bring this closer to me. And I've got my chenille stick. So let's do that. That's weird. A little wire. Okay. This and that. And this and that. We go bigger on the bottom to smaller. And just crisscross. Crisscross. Right. Then I'm just kind of grabbing from the center and kind of squishing because that's technical. That's a technical term right there, squishing. scrunching together. And flip it over and then just twist right out of it. Twist, 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 twist. Okay. And then I want to floof it up. Another technical term. And then I can trim it. And then I'll glue it down. I'll trim it. But I think it'll go like right here. What do you guys think? But it does definitely need to be trimmed up. It's cute, right? And this one, like I said, this big fat one in the back. I'm gonna do. Nope, nope, yep. Like I said, my whole idea of having a messy bow was to make it look kind of like a pom pom. So obviously it needs to be trimmed. So I'll trim these up. I do want to seal this, and then I don't know. See, that covers the football too much for me, and so I think I like that right there. What do you guys think? I think that's cute, but I do want to seal this because they do have quite a bit of weather, and then I will trim up the ribbon, and then I will take a picture and show you guys. Let me flip you guys around. I know that was a little long, but not quite an hour. Not quite an hour. So I want to show you what it looks like. What do you think? And I don't think I want to do two. What do you think? I think just one. I just think one. Yeah, I just think one. One's good. All right, you guys. Football is the word of the day. Make sure you're sharing because sharing is caring. And I hope you love this. I hope he loves it too. This has been Tarina with Create with Tree. That's me. I'll see you guys next time. Bye, everybody.